Do you know the lifestyle of your favorite rapper revolves around crime and cops? You might think it's only for the music videos and to make waves through their music, but in fact, it's their livelihood. Famous rappers like NBA YoungBoy, Pooh Shiesty, and Tekashi 6ix9ine, who are the main focus of today's video, have had several run-ins with the police that has caused them to flee and declare wanted. In today's video, I'll be taking you down the road of the craziest things your favorite rapper has done and gotten them wanted, so keep watching to find out who has it worst. NBA YoungBoy, 21 years old Contrell Gaulden, who the world knows as NBA YoungBoy, had difficult times with the police by resisting arrest and trying to flee from the FBI when firearms were found in his vehicle. At age 15, NBA YoungBoy had already had several issues with the law, from being arrested for robbery to his relationships with gangs. He worsened as he grew older. At the age of 17, he was arrested at a concert on November 28, 2016 after wildly firing guns into a crowd gathered at the drive-by weeks before the incident at Baton Rouge. YoungBoy, who was already 17 years old, will be tried as an adult. He was charged with 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder, which would have been a maximum of 40 years in prison under Texas state law. Instead, he was sentenced to 9 months behind bars with 3 years of probation. Why such a sentence, you might ask? It is suspected that he might have helped the prosecutors with some names of the shooters at the scene. Or it could be that men of high places pull some strings that help lower his sentence. The gory side of a physical and emotional abuse recorded by a CCTV camera in a hotel hallway that involved Jania Jackson being beaten and assaulted by YoungBoy went viral, and the world had a lot to say. Jania responded by saying they were playing around, which even weighed so much public opinion on the situation. Some even processed to attack NBA YoungBoy for allegedly threatening and inflicting fear on her. In the video, he is seen hitting her and then dragging her back into the hotel room. He was declared wanted and then arrested, where he was jailed for a month till he paid a $75,000 bond. With the physical and emotional abuse Jania Jackson faced for 2 years back, they only recently broke up. NBA YoungBoy, on the other hand, got a plea deal for simple battery family violence, coupled with an agreement to pay a fine of $1,500 with an anger management course. On this particular day, NBA YoungBoy was pulled over in Los Angeles, California on March 22nd, but drove away in an attempt to run. While he was trying to run from the FBI, he jumped right out of his car after getting to a dead end and out of fear took to his heels. The cops set up perimeters and brought in a canine unit to help with the search. He was declared wanted and the dog used to search for him eventually sniffed him out. I can see why he ran, even though I know it was wrong and bound to increase his charges. Still, he was already under federal investigation after being arrested with 16 other people for the same crime of possession of drugs and firearms. Although he was released after paying bonds worth $75,000 and being advised by his lawyers to stay out of trouble, running from the cops seemed to avoid more problem, but that didn't go well. His arrest sparked series of reactions from several celebrities, including his then girlfriend and daughter of famous boxer Yaya Mayweather. Yaya Mayweather, who is the mother of his 6th son, expressed her displeasure at the issue surrounding the arrest of NBA YoungBoy. In her post, she mentioned how completely ruined her day was and added sad emoticons. In her story, she used the hashtag #FreeKentrell, but many people disagree with her since he was arrested on legal grounds. Even some took it too far by calling out names. Rapper Jackboy, who once had a beef with NBA YoungBoy, didn't keep silent on his arrest, and he posted the situation on his Instagram story, sharing his distaste for the incident. He said, "I don't wish jail on nobody. Tell them send me they cash app. I'ma buy they whole gang a little sandwich while bruh gone." In the next slide of his story, he added, "Or a hot dog out the gas station. This ain't tripping, however." Pooh Shiesty. Lantrell Williams, popularly known as Pooh Shiesty, is the newest artist on Gucci Mane's record label 1017 Records. He has collaborated with Lil Baby and Moneybagg Yo. His long list of crimes and wanted posters have been taken down by the connections he has in the system and is why he is one of the focuses on today's video. In Bay Harbor Island, the cops reported that Pooh Shiesty and his accomplice had been involved in a drug and sneaker deal. They said the deal had gone terribly wrong and Pooh shot 2 victims. Locals in the area served as witnesses to hearing 3 gunshots and watched a green McLaren and black Mercedes-Benz speed away from the directions of the sounds of the gunshots. Fox News reported that the two victims that were shot in the black Mercedes-Benz and got to the hospital early enough to be treated for their gunshot injuries and be saved, they survived. The cops declared Pooh Shiesty wanted for being the driver of the green McLaren and his alleged involvement in the shooting. He was later taken into custody for allegedly shooting two persons after a drug and sneaker deal went sour. Pooh Shiesty hired Bradford Cohen to represent him. Bradford Cohen has represented Kodak Black, YNW Melly, and some other famous rappers. Mo Gangat, a New York City-based attorney known for covering high-profile rap cases, took an interest in this case and made a report on it. In the video, he explains that Pooh Shiesty was free after he paid the bonds, but still awaits trial. In the clip, he says, "They freed Pooh Shiesty, not free for good, free pending trial. 4 felony charges. He appeared in court today. A bond was set to $30,000. He's now out pending trial. If that sounds low to you, it means 2 things. 1, he's got good lawyers." He continued by adding, he's hired Bradford Cohen, who is also representing Kodak Black, also representing YNW Melly, and now representing Pooh Shiesty. Second, the charges just aren't strong enough as the cops want them to be. You dig into this case a little bit, stuff's not starting to add up a bit. In the video, he highlights the prosecutor's confusion concerning the case against Pooh Shiesty and how it wasn't going as they had wanted it. Pooh Shiesty, big time rapper right now, got a lot of buzz. Why would he go show up at an armed robbery with a duffel bag full of cash? That's what the cops are saying. The cops are saying that there was a duffel bag full of cash. They're linking it to Pooh Shiesty, but if you're going to commit an armed robbery, why would you go there with a bunch of cash? This could very well be something completely different. The two victim statements are not entirely adding up. They can't identify Pooh as a shooter. They say they were there to sell drugs, so it doesn't lead to a whole lot of credibility for them. Attorney Gangat and I agree that Pooh Shiesty is protected by Gucci Mane, his boss at 1017 Records, Fujiano, and Lil Baby. They show support in his Instagram comment section and sent direct messages that Pooh shared on his Instagram stories. Another incident that put Pooh on the wanted list occurred in Polk County in Florida, where Pooh had a show. He had been arrested before the show and details have not been released yet. But it is believed that he was arrested for illegal possession of firearms after his car was searched. It occurred around 1:30 a.m. at midnight. Pooh Shiesty is a 20-year-old rapper who keeps running into several issues with the law that could end his music career. Tekashi 6ix9ine. Daniel Hernandez, commonly known as Tekashi 6ix9ine, is the definition of wanted by nature. His involvement in gang crimes, robbery, harassment, drug sales, and sex crime has him on the wanted list. His form of music, which is termed aggressive rap or rock rap, is mixed with several gang activities. The goal behind this was to build up his reputation of his music and his place in the music industry, but of course, there's always more attached to it. He was declared wanted after creating a pornographic film involving a 13-year-old girl and 2 adult males. He turned himself in and was charged to the court, where he received a sentence of 4 years probation. Like having such trouble on your neck wasn't enough, he deepened his relations with the 9 Trey gang. This not only put him back on the wanted list, but after the arrest and his prosecution, hate was built against him for ratting out his gang associates. He was bothered about being called a fake, snitch rat, or fraud, but he was always ready to defend himself when trolled by other rappers in the industry. His involvement with the 9 Trey gang wreaked havoc in the city of New York, where they robbed and beat up whoever they had issues with. The leader of the 9 Trey was wanted by the feds, and Tekashi was used as a means of getting him. He was lured by an Instagram post on drugs and guns. He was caught and arrested with enough evidence to have him locked up for 67 years. He pleaded guilty to the charges against him, even when his lawyer tried to pin it as fake, and having guns in music videos doesn't depict any connections with the gang. The evidence against him was enough to turn it down. Then the feds didn't warn Tekashi about the threats made on his life by the gang members he was protecting, and that let the cat out of the bag. He shared concrete pieces of information to bring in the boss of the 9 Trey and his top men. They were guilty of selling unprecedented and addictive drugs in the streets of New York, carrying unregistered firearms, and exhibiting high levels of violence. One of the very popular issues that got the feds on their tail was the incident that occurred in a public place, where they had a gunfight with another member of a different gang that got a bystander shot. The head of the police department has had a strong distaste for the gang and tried to kick them off the grid, including Tekashi, who was used to get it done. His 4 years probation from his sex crime was converted to time, coupled with all the charges he was facing became a mandatory minimum of 47 years in prison. The plea deal offer was able to get him 2 years after he cooperated with the prosecutors in locking up the boss of the 9 Trey gang.